Mm, 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 mm.
I need this in my life. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at lifestyle YouTuber Michelle Choi. But first, let me tell you about my sponsor, Cook Unity. As a food blogger and cookbook author, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. But I'm also a really busy mom of two and a business owner, so there are a lot of days when I just can't. Sometimes I don't have the inspiration, sometimes I don't have the time, sometimes I don't have the ingredients, and sometimes I just don't have the drive. So whenever we're down south in the States, we always stock up on some of the creative signature meals from Cook Unity. So Cook Unity has over 50 talented chefs from some of the best restaurants in the country working out of regional micro kitchens instead of massive production facilities. So you feel like you're getting a restaurant meal at home. Basically, you just let them know what you like and what you don't like, and you pick a flexible meal plan. So you can get as few as 4 or as many as 16 meals per week. Then you can select from hundreds of meals that align with your preferences and dietary restrictions, including keto, vegan, paleo, gluten-free, low sodium, and more. And they use all really high quality chef-driven ingredients. So the meals are delivered fresh, not frozen, in compostable, recyclable, or reusable packaging, along with expiration dates, eating instructions, and nutrition stats. And then a few days before your delivery, you get a text to make your selections for the next week. It really feels like one big thing off my plate that I can't screw up. Everything I've tried is amazing, and the menu rotates constantly with a wide range of different cultural flavors and preparations, so it really helps to fill the gaps with inspiring, fun meals for those nights when things get really hectic. So if you want to try Cook Unity out yourself, go to cookunity.com/Abby or click the link in the description and use my code Abby50 to get 50% off of your first order of meals. And you can pause the screen or look at the description to check out my disclaimer, including a trigger warning to those with current or previous experiences with disordered eating. As always, feel free to skip this video if it's not supportive to your journey. And if you are not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and follow me over on TikTok and Instagram at Abby's Kitchen. So Michelle has been doing some serious numbers with her Living Alone Diaries on YouTube. And in March, she shared what she eats in a day alone. And I feel like this is content that so many people need. So let's dive in. So Echinacea has been long touted as a natural remedy to boost your immune system and fight the common cold. Honestly, I grew up thinking that this was just gospel and it was fact because that's what my mom gave me whenever I was sick. And there actually has been a lot of research on this, none of which is super overwhelmingly conclusive. So a 2006 review found that it could not prevent a cold, but it could possibly lessen its length or severity. Then a 2014 review suggested it might have small preventative benefits, and a 2015 review found that it could possibly reduce the risk of actually getting a cold by up to 35% by increasing the response of natural killer cells. So this is not necessarily on par with medicine, but I would say it's probably worth a shot if you're prone to catching the common cold. Probably should have tried that before getting into bed with my snotty, always sick toddlers. Hence the rasp.
My brain is on fire. I'm dying.
But anyways, if that is in fact Michelle's intended use, she actually didn't say, I would consider a few other supplements as well. So we do have research to support vitamin D for lowering the risk of respiratory infections, and that vitamin C, zinc, and elderberry extract may also help to shorten the duration of colds. But if she just likes the flavor, or this is part of her morning ritual, Echinacea is generally considered safe for most people, and it may also have some immune supporting benefits as we've discussed. I need this in my life. I mean, when you think about it, like a burger is just some sort of protein, like packed between carbs with some kind of sauce on it.
It's a hamburger made out of meat on a bun with nothing. Add ketchup if you want. I couldn't care less.
So we're just replacing the usual bun with like a compact patty of umami infused rice.
I love the umami flavor.
Stop being so pretentious, Kyle.
And I also love that she made it more breakfast themed with adding the egg in there for some extra protein to complement the protein in the tuna as well. All I would do is maybe suggest amping up the fiber a bit here, since we are only looking at less than 2 grams in this meal. So out of respect to like not mess with the nostalgic favorite meal itself, we don't necessarily have to add anything to the burger if that's not how we like it. But I would just pair it with a piece or two of fruit on the side. Getting your produce in the morning is a great way to start the day.
This reminds me of my college days. I actually loved eating food like this, where it was just packaged very compact and you can eat it really fast and easy on the go.
This is more than a few steps up from what I ate when I was in university. And I was like a food and nutrition major, so it was kind of expected that we knew how to cook. But I will just say that while there is a bit of assembly involved in a meal like this, it is one of those meals that you can't really mess up. And I would say like all the ingredients are super cheap and cheerful, and we love to see that. Rice, canned tuna, eggs, miso soup are all great inexpensive staples for anyone to have on hand.
And there we have it.
Love that the girl is not afraid to serve herself seconds or thirds. You honor that hunger, girl. You guys know I'm a big fan of that. You can also just tell how much satisfaction she's deriving from her meals just by all the little mms and like the food dance. You know, we all do that little wiggle when a meal is just like hitting right. As for the meal itself, we are getting another double dose of protein from the tofu and the pork, more gut-friendly probiotics from the kimchi, as well as a bit of veg and fiber action from the onions and bell pepper. But considering we did have a lower fiber breakfast, I would use this opportunity to just sneak in a little more fiber. And the best way to do this is actually not to swap the white rice for brown rice, as so many kind of healthy hack listicles may suggest. Honestly, when you compare white and brown rice only has like a gram more fiber per 100 gram serving. Nothing to write home about. Not to mention, white rice actually has less arsenic than brown rice. So if rice is a main fixture of your diet, it is something to consider. You can also reduce the arsenic risk by washing your rice really well, cooking it in plenty of water, using an aromatic rice like basmati or jasmine, and most importantly, focusing on diet diversity when you can. So if this were my meal, I would just focus on maybe adding more fresh or frozen vegetables in here. So that could be a few handfuls of chopped spinach, broccoli or bok choy, or really any leftover veg that she might have already kicking around in her fridge.
When I was younger, I used to eat hot Cheetos with rice and ham. I would get a piece of ham, I would put rice and lay a piece of hot Cheeto, wrap it and eat it. Whoosh. It actually still tastes really good. You guys watching this are probably thinking I am crazy.
She thinks this is crazy, but to be honest, I don't know how this could possibly taste bad. You could put hot Cheetos on just about anything and I will crush them. Plus, she's actually adding some fat and protein from the ham in there to a carb-rich snack. So to that I say it's hitting those hunger-crushing compounds hard. We love it.
Gonna enjoy this while watching my Korean drama.
So I'm glad to see that we're getting a solid amount of fiber and potassium from the fruit and the greens in this smoothie. And because there has been a fair bit of sodium in this day from the soup mix and the sauces and the Cheetos, the potassium from the fruit and veggies will be a great choice. Sodium and potassium have a bit of an inverse relationship when it comes to a healthy heart. We used to harp on sodium alone as being the cause of hypertension and other cardiovascular risks. but it now seems that the sodium to potassium ratio is actually a better indicator of risk. So research suggests we ideally want a 3-to-1 ratio of potassium to sodium in our diet, which most North Americans find remarkably challenging to achieve. And it really is quite challenging. So this snack is packed with produce, and we're still getting 1.5 times more sodium than potassium from the dumplings and the sauce. Personally, sodium isn't something that I worry that much about for young, healthy individuals. I mean, a 2011 Cochrane review found that a reduced salt diet didn't even seem to have a clinically significant outcome for cardiovascular morbidity or mortality. But our daily salt recommendations may have more significance to certain populations, as some people are just more sensitive to sodium's effects. So if you've been told you need to cut back, focus on adding as much colorful produce to meals and snacks and choosing lower sodium sauces or packaged foods wherever possible. So for example, coconut aminos has 90 milligrams of sodium compared to 280 in regular soy sauce and 190 milligrams in the reduced sodium soy. So experiment with different brands if sodium is an issue for you.
I am so happy right now. Everything turned out so good.
I could watch Michelle cook and and ah over her meal all day long. This looks awesome. I love that we're taking some shortcuts here with the pancake mix and the frozen seafood and the salad greens and the acorn jelly, because I don't know, I looked up a recipe for that acorn jelly and that is intense. Store-bought, I can do. But we are getting lots of protein from the seafood. We got fiber in the side salad, as well as some fats from the sesame oil and some seeds. And I had never heard of acorn jelly before, but it is apparently sodium-free, has a bit of fiber, and has only 40 calories per serving. So definitely something to check out the next time I'm at the market. Yes, again, this is a high sodium meal, mainly because the girl gets pretty generous on the soy sauce on her greens. I mean, hey, if she likes it and it doesn't bother her, then I get the sense that she knows her body's needs well. Some of us, myself included, actually just need a little extra salt. But if you are sensitive and you want to make a salad like this at home, you could swap out the soy for a rice wine vinegar and then season with a hint of salt or soy.
It's brown sugar bubble milk tea cream bar. I'm so full right now, but there's always room for dessert.
Brown sugar bubble tea ice cream sounds fire. And I don't normally like bubble tea, but if it's brown sugar, I'm there. And while Michelle does comment on how full she feels, I think it's worth distinguishing between the different types of hunger, all of which are valid reasons to eat. So of course we've got stomach hunger, which is the physical sensation of hunger, which is usually signaled by physical cues like a grumbling stomach or our stomach feeling physically full after a meal. Then there is mouth hunger, which has more to do with the senses. So it could be a craving for a particular aspect of food, like sweet or crunchy or salty. So Michelle's comment that she was full, but she could always find room for dessert is an example of that mouth hunger. And we've all felt that need. And then there's heart hunger, which is usually tied to our emotions. So we may feel a desire to eat certain foods as a way to self-soothe or cope with different emotions, which is independent from our physical need for food or when we were to have last eaten. So while we definitely want to hone in on those internal hunger and fullness cues, eating is not black and white. And there are so many other factors at play that are driving our food decisions every day. Despite what diet culture will tell you, it's just as valid to eat because you want something sweet than it is to eat when your tummy is grumbling. So consider it best practice to not ignore these hungers, but to become aware of them, honor them, and to collect data about them judgment-free. So if capping off a night with some ice cream feels emotionally satisfying to Michelle, despite feeling full, then I say yes. enjoy that ice cream, and move on. With all that said, what are my overall thoughts here? Well, on this particular day, it does seem that Michelle is meeting her caloric needs, as she's definitely within the ballpark for her general size and age, and she also doesn't seem to be restricting or depriving herself of any of the foods that she loves. She calmly serves herself a second helping without judgment when she wanted it, and she had dessert even though she was full. There were also no diet culture qualifying statements to justify her choices. She just chooses foods that she enjoyed cooking and eating. I mean, the audible mms and ahs at every meal. Truly speak for themselves. I also love that she embraces her cultural foods in an easy and accessible way by leaning on a few quick cooking hacks and some frozen or prepackaged foods. I know food content isn't Michelle's niche, but I would 100% watch more food vlogs from her. And on that note, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it the thumbs up, leave me a comment below on who or what I should review next, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!